Hey everyone, welcome back to another lesson. So our quiz program is coming together, and what we're going to do in this video is to add the final functionality to it to actually make it into a quiz program. Because so far, if you actually run the program, what is going to happen is that, let me just run it real quick. What is going to happen is that we're just going to be able to obviously answer these questions. We're just going to be able to add an input, but it's really like not doing anything. I see it's just nothing's happening, right? We're just like adding an answer and that's it. It's just go through the questions and that's it. So what we need to do is we need to add the ability to check for answers, and also ideally another thing I'd like to do is add a scoring system where we keep a score of how many questions the users have answered correctly, right? So that's what we're going to add in this lesson to just complete this. So in order to do this, what we're going to do is we need to go to the quiz brain again, and we are going to add a new function or method, and we're going to call this the check answer. All right, so I'm just going to define a new function and we're going to call this check answer. All right, and this is basically going to just check for answers. All right, so a few things that we want to do here before we actually go and start adding the code, everything. One of the things I want to do is I want to call this function here. Let's just go back a little bit, go down, there you go. So I'm just going to go to the next question method here, and I want to call this this new method that we just created, check answer. All right, and one of the things I want to do is I want to get a few values that we can pass through. All right, so the first thing I want to get is the user answer. So I'm just going to grab the user answer and drop it right here. Okay, that's very important because we need that, right? We need that information to check. And then another thing I want to grab here is the current answer. So like the current questions answer. So that is actually very simple as well. I'm just going to say current question and we're going to say answer. So just like that, we are grabbing that information and we can actually pass it, right? So now let's go ahead and actually use it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first actually just let's pass this information as an input. All right, so I'm just going to say user answer. All right, and we're going to also say a correct answer. So just like that, guys, we are actually passing this information. All right, so next step here is to actually use an if statement to check if the user answer is correct, right? So I'm going to say if user answer equals correct answer, that's when we know the answer is correct, right? Now one of the things I want to do is I want to just make sure that we check for the lowercase, because the user can answer the question in like all uppercase and all that stuff, so we want to just like make sure that we unify it. So I'm just going to turn it to lowercase and turn this into lowercase as well. All right, there you go. So that way we just like if they answered like in different like types, for example, if someone's capitalized, someone's like say true, for example, or say true, just stuff like that, we just like obviously going to be able to check it correctly. All right, so just like that, what we're going to do is we're going to obviously check for a few things. For that, if that checks out, we're going to print you got it right. So just like that, we have the right message. So that's the message they're going to get when they enter the correct answer. If they don't, which is going to be the else, right, we're going to say print and we're going to say that's wrong. All right, so just like that, guys, we have the the basic statements here. Now one more thing is that I'd like to just add the correct answer here. So I want to just like make sure that when they answer a question, they see the correct answer as well. And you have a couple ways of doing this. You can actually add it inside this else statement. The idea with this is that they're going to only see it if they enter the wrong answer, but I want it to actually be outside. And if we actually do it outside, if we add it here, what is going to happen, for example, if I put it right here instead of just like adding it inside, what is going to happen is that they're going to see the answer either way, which that's what I want. So I'm just going to make an if statement. I'm going to say the correct answer is or was, okay, and we're going to say correct answer. There you go. So just like that, we got that. You know, we have the correct answer and we show that correct answer. Again, this can be done outside of the if statement. So that way, you know, again, this is going to be like displayed no matter what happens here. Or we can put it inside. We can indent it like this. But I just want to do it like that. All right. So that's that. So next, what we need to do is we need to keep a score. So in order to do this, I'm going to add a new attribute here. Okay. I'm going to call this score. So I'm just going to go self score and we're going to say 0. So again, this starts with 0 as well, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually make sure that each time the user answers correctly, we're going to add 1 to that score. So we keep score, right? So we're going to go here and we're going to just right under this if statement, we're going to say self score plus equal 1. So that means that whenever they give it a correct answer, we're going to add 1 to that score, right? So just like that, we have we can actually track the score. The next step is actually show them the score. All right, so I'm just going to say I'm going to go print here again. This I want to show this outside as well, you know, outside of the if statement. I'm going to say your current score is, we're going to actually get the current score, which is self score. All right, and we're going to say from, and we're going to say self question number. So again, that would be the number of questions that they have answered so far. Now the reason we use question number, we can use a lot of different things. For example, we can use the length function. We can just wrap it in a length function, wrap the you know, question number in the length function and question bank in the length function, and we get that as well. But I just want to do the question number, so that would show, for example, if they've answered 3 questions so far, it would show, for example, 2 out of 3 questions. That way it's just a lot more cleaner. All right, so that is pretty much it. So if I actually run this, let's go here and run this, this should work. So I'm just going to say slug's blood is green, false, and there you go, that's wrong. The correct answer was true. So your current score is 0 out of 1. There we go. The loudest animal in Africa is elephant. I'm going to say false. And there you go, that you got it right. Your current answer was false. Your current answer was false. There you go. Your current score is, the correct answer was false. Your current score is 1 out of 2. All right, perfect. You know, again, I'm just like, you know, going through this. There you go. But let's go through the end of it. Let's see. There you go. So that's pretty much it. So we got that going on right now. And one of the things what I'm seeing right now is that there's just like so much going on here. If I actually show you, I want to like make this a little bit look nicer, so I'm going to add a extra space here. So we're just going to say print, and we'll add like an extra line here, so that way you know, we add a new line, so that just looks a lot better. All right, so the final thing I want to add is like an extra like final score. So whenever they get to the end, like if we take a look, when we got to the end, really nothing happened. We just showed like the current score, but like I want us to like show a conclusion. So when we get to the end of the program, we say, hey, you've completed a quiz. Your score is like, your final score is this, for example. So that's something I want to do, and that's actually pretty simple as well. So we're gonna go outside of this while loop, like on the main.py, and I'm going to add a print. I'm going to say you've completed the quiz, just like that. So again, basically this is what's going to happen, is that when we're actually out of this loop, meaning that, you know, we're done with this, we're going to run this print statement. Very simple, right? And then finally, we're going to have another print statement. I'm going to add an F statement. All right, I'm going to say your final score was, there you go, quiz score out of, well, let's make sure we go outside. There you go, out of quiz, let's add a curly bracket, quiz, and we're going to use question number. So like again, at the end, the reason I use the question number is that at the end, when we are done with every single question, the question number is going to be 12, right? So again, that would be like the question number 12 right here. So that's pretty much how it's gonna like display here. So if I, let's save this up and let's clear this and run it one more time, this should look a lot better. For example, I'm going to say false. There you go. And there you go. We got this space and we go to the next question. I'm going to say, for example, false as well. And there you go. So we got, well, there you go. So we got that. And again, I'm just going to kind of smash through it. I don't want to deal with this. And at the end, we should get that final message. You've completed quiz. Your final score is 1 out of 12. All right, so just like that, we finished it. Let me know if you have any questions, guys. I have one more thing to talk about to just wrap this up. The program itself is done. There's one thing I want to talk about, which is kind of a teaser for one of the subjects that we're going to talk about in future as well, which is APIs. But I'll talk about that in the next video, and that's pretty much it. That's a wrap for this practice. Let me know if you have any questions, guys. If not, I'll see you in the next video.